Oh, Well, welcome back to another isolation day project. It's been day number, well, honestly, I forget how many days it's been, but that's okay. We have projects, we have things to do. If you've been watching the channel for some time, you know that I like to maintain and detail my car on a regular basis, but there's been something about my detailing process that's been missing, and I actually took care of it. I actually bought a product. So watch to the end of the video where I actually put it into use, and I'll give you my final thoughts on it. But first, I actually need to do a little bit of electrical work in my garage. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is our single car garage. That's my wife's car. It lives in here. But as you can see, it's very tiny. Matter of fact, I have to fly a lot of stuff up into the rafters to make room. Got to get rid of that boat someday. Let me know if you're interested. But anyways, what's in this box is what we're going to review today. But first, I want to mount it. It's designed to be mounted. I'll explain here in a second. But I want to put it here in this area. We're going to remove all this stuff, but I need to run electrical to it. But thankfully, a few years ago, I ran electrical up there in the soffit for my security camera, which is going to get replaced soon. Anyways, so I'm just going to run a short line down to about this area here with a single gang so I can run my power washer and this device. Safety first. There we go, power's off. First order of business, I'm going to replace this with a double gang so I have more plugs to power my things like my garden utensils, for charging batteries, my electric bike up here, my electric scooter, which is buried under all this stuff. Don't judge, I know, I need to clean up the garage. Change of plans, it's too hard to get up into that soffit, so I'm going to pull electricity from that outlet. It's time. Let's do an unboxing and I'll let you in on the secret. So what I bought here is a Metrovac VNB4AFBR. You know what? Companies, please don't let your engineers name your products. Anyway, so this is a vacuum slash blower. And the reason I bought this is because, you know, for the last few years I've been using one of these little jobbies. It's a little dust vac. Works very well for wheels, but not for the rest of the car. So I wanted to be able to find something that would be able to dry off the car a little faster than using towels. And second of all, I've been using like those little dust buster thingies. They're not good enough. So I splurged and bought this. So let's take a look. So it has two high quality 6-foot hoses, and they can click together to give you a little extra length. There's a bag here with some little crevice tools, attachments. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit. There's a bag. Let's take a look and see what this is. Yes, this is the bracket. By the way, I should mention, this is a wall mount unit, so that's one of the reasons I put electricity here on the side of the wall so that I could put this in a hidden spot. They include 2 extension tubes for vacuuming, another little crevice tool, and the actual unit itself. Aha, there we go. Talk about that for a second. And some more bits and bobs. Hey, a shoulder strap. I wasn't expecting that. And oh yeah, that's like a little brush there, and another crevice tool, and then finally some basic instructions. So this Metrovac is made in the US. It's completely metal. The only plastic bit I can find, oh no, even that's metal too. Really well built. So on one side you can attach the hoses for suction as a vacuum, or you can put it on the other end and it acts as a blower. Now tomorrow when I wash my car, I'll do a full review on the product, but I wanted to do an unboxing and show you literally how big this thing is. It's about 18 inches tall, and it'll be perfect for mounting right on the wall. And I believe on this side, yes, there's the filter. Yeah, so there's a filter there, and you can get different bags. So this will be the vacuum end of the unit. There's another filter on the inside, by the way. It's a little foam thing. And on this side will be the blower. And then it has little rubber feet here, but I think I can remove those and put casters on if I want to. But for now, we'll just stick it on the wall and see how it works. So here's the unit, and we're going to mount it in this orientation with the suction at the bottom, blower at the top. That means it's easy for me to take the dust bin out and not make a mess everywhere. By the way, I should mention this video is not sponsored. I actually bought this with my own money. And here is the bracket on the bottom. And that's going to go right in that position right about there. And it's going to fit perfectly in this wall, out of sight, out of mind. It's very compact. Now Metrovac does supply you all of the mounting hardware that you could possibly want, including, wall anchors and metal screws, bolts. But the problem is all these bolts have flatheads for flathead screwdrivers, and I can't stand that hardware. Yuck. I'm going to throw all that away, and I'm going to use good old-fashioned Canadian Robertson screw heads. Best stuff there is, short of Torx. Now, you all know the major reason I'm not using the flathead screws is because you know how it is. They always slip, and then you destroy your hands in the process. So, for the benefit of my American viewers who may not know what a Robertson screw is, well, it's a regular screw. The difference is in the head. The hole is actually rectangular. And the best part is, when you stick it on the bit, it doesn't come off. I am using the washers from the kit so that the screw heads don't go through the OSB that I'm using here. Don't need the reef on it because it's pretty strong. Hose fits nicely, but I'm going to have to build something up here to hold some of the other accessories. But for the time being, this is looking pretty good. So the car's been fully washed, and now it's time to use it in blower mode to get all the water out of the little nooks and crannies of the car. So as a blower, it works as advertised. For drying the body, I think I would want to experiment with some of the accessories that come with it, maybe get a wider spread. But for things like crevices and getting into the panel gaps and the wheels, it works exceptionally well. So let's move on and use it as a vacuum. So we're going to switch it over from blower mode to vacuum mode. Before we get into the vacuuming part, let's take a moment and take a look at some of the accessories you get with this vacuum. So first of all, you get this normal sort of crevice tool. You've seen these before. You also get a vacuum rake of sorts and another attachment with soft bristles. But one of the things that attracted me to this particular kit was the fact that you get this long hose attachment. So this part goes onto the regular hose, and you get this smaller attachment where you can put little extensions like this, really small little brushes, good for things like the HVAC system in the Model 3. You get an even different kind of brush tool, and this really tiny little crevice tool. Great for getting into the little spaces, between the seats where you drop your French fries and your coins and all that fun stuff. I'm finished detailing the car, and as I said at the start of the video that I would share my thoughts on this particular unit at the end. So here we are. So first things first, the unit satisfies my needs, which are portability. It needs to be compact because I have a very small garage. It needs to be fairly powerful. This thing is 4 horsepower, and the thing is a real brute. I also need to make sure they had high quality hoses and some accessories that I think that would really help with my detailing. Particular, this little guy. This thing was amazing. Some of you will also say, well, I can do the same thing with a shop vac. Yes, you can buy a shop vac that might be similar to this, but the problem is that most shop vacs are fairly large. I needed something that was wall mountable. Very hard to find a shop vac that'll do that. The other thing too about shop vacs is that typically the hoses are very low quality, so you're going to have to buy a detailing kit of some form to get a higher quality, longer hose, not to mention the attachments that you might have to buy even separately. So I think at the end of the day, if you really compare it apples to apples, well, I don't think it's that that expensive for a product like that. I'll leave a link in the video description if you guys are interested in taking a look at it. Again, this is not sponsored. I spent my own money on this, so these are my thoughts. You might think a little differently, but so far I'm happy with the product. Now, as far as a blower is concerned, it works quite well. I think maybe my expectations were a little too high, I think, for blowing water off the body of the car, but for crevices and getting in the wheels, it's actually better than the little one I showed you at the beginning, so I'm very happy about that. The other thing too is that in blower mode, because it's sucking air through the unit past the motor, you get some heat out of the deal, so that helps dry things off, so I'm very happy with that. Anyways, if you like the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.